Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Farm Sim 25. My name is Spartan Elite 43, and tonight, welcome back to our New Frontier Survival Challenge. I just finished up breakfast. I did my dishes. We are ready to get the party started, and you may notice it is April. It's time to do some cultivating and planting, and oh my God, what is this? Oh, look at that. I did a little bit more with our area out front finally. Look at that. We got cherry blossoms all the way down the driveway. Ain't that something? I do love some cherry trees, man. They are some gorgeous trees during the day. But look at this. Let's take old Bessie down the driveway, shall we? Seems like a great time to take a trip through the old cherry blossom highway. Look at that. I did this kind of sporadic. At the end of the last episode, I was kind of like, you know what? I kind of want to line the driveway. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I just never got around to it. But here you go. The Cherry Blossom Highway has been built. And it being that time of the year, it's time for us to get some work done around here. All right? We've waited all winter. It's time. So let's pull Bessie over here. Try not to crash into nothing. Let's get out the tractors and get this party started. Now, we shouldn't need the big tractor right off the bat. We need to cultivate, so let's get little green out. We will be needing the big tractor to use the planter, or the seeder. But for the first part, we got to cultivate. We're going to go ahead and do that. And this will be the first time we've done this on the new field, so I can't wait. Let's get to work, fellas. Ain't no time to waste. Hopefully the field's not too bad a shape for us. It's been pretty sunny this morning, a little bit of clouds, but no rain. So the field should be dry enough to get on without getting stuck, but we got plenty of traction with these tires anyway. But there you have it. There's our field. We did lime it before the winter, so we should be able to mix all this lime underneath. It should have had plenty of time to absorb into the soil as well. But worst case scenario, we are about to cultivate it, so that'll mix everything under using the disc harrow. All right, let's set this steering assist up. We will do 2 headlands passes, and without further ado, get this party started. Now, we don't technically have to cultivate the area over there, but it's all part of the same field now, so we're just going to get it all looking as similar as possible. So I'm going to cultivate it anyway.
Set the fields free. From timber to tiller, I'm changing my stride, plowing these acres, let the old ways slide. fulfill my needs. The pines stood tall, now they're making room for golden wheat fields ready to bloom. Trading my hard hat for a farmer's hat, leaving the forest, and I ain't looking back. From timber to tiller, I'm changing my stride, plowing these acres, let the old ways slide. The land is open, ready for seeds. Gonna grow my future, fulfill my needs. The chainsaw's now silent, and the tractors purr. Fields of green replace the timber's blur. Seasons change, and so have I. Underneath this vast open sky.
All right, so we've got our field all nice and broken up and a nice even seed bed ready to be planted. Gotta love that. We do have one stump that I noticed that we got to get rid of, so we'll drop this cultivator, this disc arrow off back at the shop. We'll drop the weight since we won't need that today because we'll be using the big tractor to use the planter. But yeah, so far so good. Everything's going to plan. Can't really complain. But I just want to give a quick shout out to all of y'all that have been hanging out with me for this entire series. It is hard to believe how far we've come along during this series. Like, it really is. And I couldn't have done it without all y'all like tuning in day after day to watch the series. I know over the course of the series the viewership has dropped off quite a bit, but there's at least 500 to 600 of y'all that watch every single episode, and I gotta say thank you guys so much for your continued support. And I am going to continue this series and hopefully make it something that we can all be proud of. Not just me, but you guys as well. Holy mother of lag, Batman. What is going on here? I don't know what was going on. Alright. Let's get this thing backed into the shop. Oh, might have cut it a little early there. There we go. Drop that there. We can go ahead and drop the weight over here in front of our old winch. May need that someday, but we don't need it right now. We'll grab this. We'll go get rid of that stump while I'm thinking about it. And Larry the log's still there. But it shouldn't take us too long to get rid of that stump. But yeah, so let me know what you guys continue to think about the series as we continue to progress. I'm interested to see what you guys have to think. We're in April. I mean, I've kept the logging or the sawmill going during the winter, I didn't sell off my sawdust this time, or my wood chips. I always call it sawdust. Didn't sell off my wood chips this year. So we've got some wood chips in the bank, or in our bin. So we can take everything we make this year plus last year and sell them off all at once later in next winter. But I've been trying to kind of save up a little bit of wood chips and stuff just to make it more interesting when we go to take them in. Because we produce about 45,000 to 50,000 liters of wood chips a year from our logging camp. But yeah, where's this little stump? I know you're out here. See, the problem is they don't spawn in until you get too close to them. There you are. I knew you were around here somewheres. You can't hide from me again. There we go. And just like that, we're done. That was the only one that I remember seeing, so I think we're good. Shame that we had to drive on our freshly cultivated field, but yeah, sometimes it do be like that. But now that the field is stump free, it's nice and cultivated and ready to be planted. Next, we got to get our big tractor loaded up with the planter, get the planter full of fertilizer and seeds, and start the planting process, which hopefully won't take too long. I don't think it should take that long, but we'll see. I think it's a 12 meter working width, isn't it? Whereas our cultivator's an 8 meter working width. But our cultivator can also go at 11 miles an hour, so it might be a little bit faster, even if it's a smaller working width. So I don't know which is going to be faster. I guess we'll just have to find out. But in total, the field in terms of cultivation took about 30 to 32 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood, to cultivate. So it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. We'll go drop off our little green tractor. We'll drop off our stump grinder. I'll spray everything down later on. Not worried about it right away. Alright, time to fire up the brand new Massey. Oh, if you're wondering where Little Red took off to, Little Red's over there at the logging camp. He's got the wood chipper trailer. There we go. Let's fill this thing up with seed. Oh man, somebody done parked Bessie right in the way. Alright, Bessie, I appreciate you, but you're right in the way. Maybe I need to find a better place to park you, huh? Surely this is a better place. Let's park you over here. Can't think of a single thing that could go wrong. Alright. Now we should be able to fill this thing up with fertilizer and seeds. Fertilizer first, and seeds. Beautiful. Now we will likely have to bring this thing back to get some more seeds. But for now, should be able to take this thing right over to the field. And start the plant. This tractor should have no trouble pulling this planter. All right. Go ahead and fold her up. Turn her on. And let us begin.
Had a baler, had a rapper, had a mower too, but the money weren't coming. Had to bid 'em all I do. Sold my trailer, waved goodbye, watched 'em roll away. Took that cash to the dealer, prayed it turned my way. I'm all in on the land, ain't got nothing left to lose. Got a plan or got a dream, but I'm walking in worn out shoes. If this field don't save me, Lord, I don't know what I'll do. Bought a spreader for my fertilizer, a weeder for the row. Ain't no going back now, ain't nowhere else to go. Dropped the last of my dollars on some seed and lime. Got one shot, one harvest, one last chance this time. I'm all in on the land, ain't got nothing left to lose. Got a plan or got a dream, but I'm walking in worn out shoes. If this field don't save me, Lord, I don't know what I'll do. Sun beats down, working down to dust. Hands in the dirt, gotta earn back my trust. Every row I plant, every hope I sow, ain't no telling what the future holds. So I roll that spreader, roll that seed. Let the rain come down, let the good Lord lead. Got nothing left but this dirt and me, just praying that my crops set me free.
All right, and just like that, we are done planting the field. I'll be honest, this Massey Ferguson is nice. This thing is so clean, man. It is smooth power. It's got a great transmission. It's got a great turning radius. It really makes the field work easy. And that is something that I can appreciate. After playing this game for several hundred hours on Farm Sim 22 and Farm Sim 25, I've had my fair share of tractors that just don't quite make the cut in terms of making the job easier. Sometimes they even make the job harder, depending on what kind of tractor you're using. And this thing so far, I am in love with this tractor. This tractor has been so smooth, so nice. I can't complain about it, not even a little bit. It's fantastic. Love this tractor. But let's get this put away. We will get, let's see, what will we need next? I guess it'll be time to fill up the sawmill, I believe. Alright. We'll just put it there like that. A little bit angled. Shouldn't hurt nothing. Just try to think, what else will we need? Now, obviously we'll have to use our weeder next month, but we have that over there. Fertilizer will also be needing to be done again, because we get one application of fertilizer. So we should be good for this month. Like I said, the only thing left that we should have to do this month will be to fill up our sawmill over here. We have plenty of furniture that's going to be needing to get loaded up soon enough as well. So, I don't know where Mac ended up. I think Mac's... Oh, Mac's right there. Let's say, might have to start loading up Mac soon, because I believe that sells in June. Oh, roller! That's what I was going to say. I knew there was one more thing I had to think about. Let's look into the roller side of things. Like, how much... Is there a roller? There's no roller in here, unfortunately. Okay, so let's look at a roller. It'll be under yield improvements. I don't have to roll, but it is something that increases the amount of yield you get. This is a 5.2 meter working width. It does 9 miles an hour. I'd rather not. This is 27.7 and does 8 miles an hour. Rather not. This does 7 miles an hour at 24.3 meters. So there's got to be something better, right? We've got up to 6.2 meters of working width for 6 miles an hour. 9.5 for 12 miles an hour. And then this is 6 meters for 9. This is 12.3 at 7. This looks like it would be bigger, but it's clearly not. It's a lot smaller than you'd think. This thing is just too expensive. Although it looks insane. Would definitely love to be able to utilize it. But good lord, I can't justify that price for a 3% yield bonus. So yeah, I think we're just gonna forgo a roller for now. I mean, we could get something like this. This is 7 mile an hour working speed with a 12.3 meter working width. It's only $46,000. But the speed is not there. I would like to have a little bit more speed. This Ozdokin is kind of calling my name, but it's 9.5 meters. Why can't they make a big one that goes fast? You know what I mean? Like this one here. But then again, the big ones are just too expensive. Can't afford it. Alright, we're not going to roll this year. How about that? We'll save up for a roller maybe next year. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and save, and then we'll look at our productions. Make sure that everything's still running smoothly. Like I said, I know I need wood for the, the carpentry's doing just fine. Sawmill, we will need some wood. We could probably get through one more year, or one more month without filling it up. So maybe we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just jump up, go through another month, get us a little bit closer. That'll put us into May. That'll allow us to fertilize the field. That'll allow us to weed the field. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and visit. I ain't gonna lie though, I love my Cherry Blossom Highway, man. It looks so good. And it's just, the way it follows the driveway just kind of frames the area off just a little bit more. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys won't like it. But I like it, and that's what matters. Alright, let's go ahead and go forward a month. Now, I hope that I'm correct. I want to say that it takes 15,000 liters per month to keep the sawmill up and running. And we had a little bit over 15,000. So we shouldn't be quite out yet. We're about to find out, though. So if we look forward, we're over $100,000 in the bank, by the way. But if we look now, we are, yep, 1,300. So it actually takes about 14,000 liters. So that's good. All right, well, in that case, let's flop on down to the factory. We'll pick up, might as well use a little green for this. Now, the one thing I don't know is whether or not this is going to be... I don't know if this is going to work. Might have to adjust for row crop tires. All right, let's go over to our little workshop that we have nearby and see about potentially. Well, let's fill this thing up first. I mean, the field might be low enough that I could get away with driving on it with these tires. I guess we could try that. It might not have grown enough for that. But we've pretty much used this thing for everything that we need to use it for in terms of the big, wide, bulky dual tires. We won't be putting this thing into that kind of territory ever again. So swapping the tires out could definitely do us a favor. So let's go ahead and customize this thing, see what kind of wheels we can get. So these are just twin wheels. I would like to get some narrow tires, and there's the narrow tires. So, yeah, we're going to be running narrow tires on Little Green from now on. Seems like a good idea to me. It's going to be kind of weird seeing Little Green without dual tires, but again, it's done everything we've asked of it. And we won't be asking that much of it from going forward. Anything that we need extra, like traction or horsepower for it, we got a bigger tractor for it. So we really don't need to use Little Green for that. So we're going to get over here. We're going to use our fertilizer. I probably should weed the field first, come to think of it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm fertilizing weed. But we'll find out. Depends on how bad it is. It may not even need weeded. I just assume it does. But now we know we have narrow tires, so we shouldn't destroy the crop driving on it. And yeah, definitely need to run a weeder over here. Definitely need a weeder. Alright, well, that's the thing. Let's go ahead and let's fertilize the field. You know what? For the first time ever, I think I'm simply going to hire an AI to fertilize. Well, you know, it's not going to take that long. It's not going to take that long. Just chill. We are going to show the lines for this because it's going to be a little bit harder to see. So let's go ahead and do that. Set ourselves on line. Actually, you know what? Why not? We'll start over here. Shouldn't take too much fertilizer to fertilize the field. And then we probably ought to check and make sure it's actually working. And it does appear to be working. I should probably stop it while I'm doing the thing. Yeah, it's a freaking thing. What's that, man? But I can't wait to see this field once it's ready to harvest, man. This is going to be a good harvest for us. Like I said, we've basically doubled our harvest. Or doubled our field size, so we should be getting about double our yield. I'm pretty excited about that. Also, it appears that we managed to get everything planted, which is good. obviously the area that was plowed isn't going to need weeded. Anytime you plow, the weeds don't grow over that area, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, you can see where we plowed versus where we didn't plow. The entire field is weeds versus no weeds. It's alright though. We'll make everything look nice and clean. So weird seeing Little Green back on single tires. It's been on double tires for so long. Also, one last thing. I know probably most of you don't care, but how many people care about the idea that I do my headlands first? If it bothers you guys, like, in certain instances it starts to bug me. So maybe I'll start doing, like, the only time we'll do headlands first is when we're harvesting. After that, we'll start doing our, oh, what do you call it? We'll start doing our rows first, and then do the headlands afterwards. That way we don't end up with, like, weirdness in the field. Because you're not supposed to do your headlands first, unless you're harvesting. For reasons like this, where you just end up with, like, well, soil compaction is one of it, because you'll be driving back and forth across the field that you've already planted, or you've already cultivated, whatever. So you don't want that. So that's one reason to avoid it. But the other is that you end up with weird textures and stuff that just drive you crazy, or at least drive me crazy occasionally. But I'm pretty sure we got a weeder that's pretty solid, so it shouldn't take us too long to weed the field. Only downside is weeding our field, we're not going to have a good way to know exactly. Like, we're basically going to have to eyeball it. Because it's going to try to get us to weed the entire field, and clearly the only part that needs it is the original field. But we did buy a weeder a couple of episodes ago, so I know that'll work. But fertilizing never takes that long. It's one good thing about it. You got such wide working width that really doesn't take long at all to do the fertilizing. And it honestly doesn't even take that much fertilizer, though fertilizer is expensive, so. Even if it doesn't take that much, it's still rough. Alright, I think we've got maybe one more pass after this. And that'll cover that area to our left. There's something satisfying about seeing all the plants coming up in nice straight rows, though, isn't it? Alright, and this should be the last row. Yep. Once we finish this row, the field will have finished fertilizing. Then we'll just have to grab the weeder, come out and do that. And again, this thing should have no trouble using the weeder. And that should do it. There's a little spot there that's missed, but not that big a deal. Not worth going back over anyway. Just means we'll have one little spot in the field that's slightly lower yield than the rest. We'll get up here, we'll get our weeder out. And we'll go from there. Now again, I'm pretty confident that because of the soybeans being in their first growth stage, I probably could have kept the dual tire set up on this thing. Man, there is some lag over here. The game does not like what I'm doing over here, for whatever reason. I don't know if it's the cherry blossoms that are throwing everything off or what, but man, the game has been unhappy every time I've come over here today. There's our weeder right there. And it shouldn't take us too long to do either, because it's decent working with, but it's also fast. We'll get this over to the field, get the weeding done. And I'll probably set up the field for the auto steering, but I'm not going to use the whole thing. Just do the down and backs. Just like that, we're over here at our field. Let's go ahead and unfold this. This corner is always a pain in my neck. There we go. Headland's done. And then from here, we simply do the rows. Like I said, we don't have to do the whole field, so it won't take us too long. you can see kind of what I'm talking about with this transmission just being so finicky, man. This transmission has been a pain in my neck ever since I bought the tractor. I know I bought this tractor new, and it's crazy to think we've got 33.7 hours on just this tractor alone. That's not including any other equipment that we have. But man alive, this transmission has just been awful. And I think that's the case for most of the older tractors in the game. I feel like most of the older tractors with their like manual transmissions, I just don't think Farm Sim 25 does manual transmissions very well. And I don't know if this is a manual. It certainly feels like it's a manual transmission, the way it shifts and stuff. But yeah, it's rough. Nope. I knew it was going to do that. Now this should be the last time that these two fields will ever look like two separate fields. From here on out, everything should line up to make both of these just look like one field from now on. It's just where we went from having plowed on one side and harvested on the other. So that's why everything looks a little bit different. But from here on out, it shouldn't matter. Everything should be perfectly the same. So both fields should look like one big field. No expert, but it looks like we may have a hailstorm in the future for today, which is not ideal because we just got this stuff planted and it's growing nice, and that hail's going to come through and damage our field. I hope not, but sure seems like that's going to be the case. If I'm looking at that right. Maybe it's not hail, maybe it's just rain, but I think it's hail, which is never ideal. Maybe we'll get lucky. We can get this done before the hail shows up. I have to look at the thing. I know a lot of people have asked about whether or not there's tornadoes and stuff on this map. And there is. As you can see, there's damaged trees right there. And we cut out quite a few other damaged trees from a tornado that occurred in the past. Of course, we got lucky. It wasn't our farm at the time. We were still working over there in the forest when the tornado occurred and didn't really bother us at all, so didn't think about looking at it. I don't even think it happened on camera. I think it was off camera when it happened. It was one of those times. Pretty early on in the series. But it's hard to believe we're coming up on 43 episodes of Farm Sim in a series where we started from scratch with nothing but a truck and a chainsaw. And we've built a logging empire out of it. And now we're working on building a farming empire. And then after we're done with the farming empire, then we've got to try to build up the city, if we can. I don't know how much we're going to be able to do there, but we're going to try. We're going to try. But I've thoroughly enjoyed my time on this map. I feel like a lot of people gave up on this map pretty early. I know there was a lot of us that started playthroughs on the map at about the same time. And I feel like there's only like 2 of us left that have been actually pushing to make something out of the map. I know there's been a lot of new maps come out, and I'm excited to eventually get to play on a couple of those. But I also like the idea of running a series to completion. You know what I mean? And we've already beat the series in terms of what we had originally set out to do, which is create a logging empire. So we've already done that. But a lot of you guys wanted to see me go ahead and continue with this series to be able to see how the map can progress from there. And I'm excited to do that for you. if you want to see another person that I believe is still working on this map, that started this map at about the exact same time I did, but went in a completely different direction, there's a channel called Zorch. Zorch Gaming, I believe, is the name of it. He does it as well. And I believe he even started in like the same exact location, which was kind of funny, because we started about the exact same time. But this map, one of the downsides of this map early on has been the fact that like there really isn't a lot to the map. So there's very few places that people are really going to choose for their starter area. Yeah, I wanted a water feature. I ended up finding the one spot on the entire map that had water. So it kind of limited where everybody would start at. But I'm pretty happy with how this series has progressed, man. And I know you guys have enjoyed it as well, because I read your guys' comments all the time. That's one of the things that I do pretty well, I think, on YouTube. I may not be the best editor. I may not be the most entertaining person. I may not be the funniest, the wittiest, and I darn sure ain't the best gamer in the world. But one thing I do try to do is I interact with my audience. I try to make sure that I'm reading all you guys' comments. I'm commenting back where applicable. You know, I try to make sure that you guys feel like you guys are a part of the channel as well, because you are. And I appreciate everybody that comes by and hangs out with me. It's nice to be able to do games that aren't just World of Warships Legends all the time, and have people that actually show up and enjoy that part of the channel as well. So we've gotten a lot of new faces through this series too to the channel, and I appreciate all of you guys as well. I think it's time to wash all of our machines and call it an episode. And the next episode, you guys can look forward to our summertime, being able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Sell off all of our soybeans, our furniture that we've created over the past year. It's going to be a profitable day, man. I know the soybeans ain't that much, but the furniture certainly is going to be pretty good, because that's like a whole year's plus of furniture that we've been holding on to. But I like to keep my equipment nice and clean now that we have the ability. You guys know the deal. We go through, we spray everything down, make everything look pretty. Might as well spray that down while we're thinking about it too. Well, that stump grinder's gotten into a lot of use, hasn't it? I don't know if I sprayed my harvester off or not, but definitely need to spray off our plow that we got, or ripper, whatever you want to call it. I never thought of it. That might be causing the lag too, because it kind of glitches into the building a little bit. Spray off our brand new Massey Ferguson tractor. Make sure she stays nice and clean. Bring this over. Spray off our fertilizer spreader. Try to keep the water out of the fertilizer if we can. Go. Keep that nice and clean. Spray off our weeder as well. It's not nearly as dirty. And then spray off a little green. That's that. Go ahead and spray off our harvester. I don't remember if I cleaned this or not, but just in case, might as well spray her down. Don't want to have a bunch of dry plant products in there. You end up with a bunch of dry stuff, brush and stuff from harvesting the field. All that dust gets collected. That's how fires start. And a harvester fire is a big deal, man. It's absolutely devastating for farmers. don't know if you guys have ever seen harvester fires, but man, they are awful. Not only do they destroy the harvester, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially, but also the fire tends to spread because usually if you're harvesting, the field is dry, so the fire tends to wipe out huge chunks of the field, so the farmer's profit from the field just completely gets destroyed. It's horrendous. But on that bombshell, I think that is today's episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.